next up will be Tobias Willmann, and he will talk to us about GIF or GIF, as you like, SEO. Let's add him to the stage. And here also, this was something completely new for me. I know that you can improve images somehow, but especially for GIF or GIF, you can have SEO. This is also new to me. So I'm really interesting what you're going to tell us about how to make GIFs or GIFs more visible and so improve them.
Okay.
So thanks again. Stage is yours.
I will share my screen. So you should see it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So second topic for tonight, GIF SEO. Let's dive into it. The first question I have here for you is, why is search a big topic for GIFs? So if you imagine the use case when you want to use a GIF, in many cases it's related to search. Let's imagine you are in WhatsApp and you're looking for cake. Then actually what you do here is you're not looking in WhatsApp, but WhatsApp has implemented an API to Giphy or Tenor. These are the GIF search engines. And these GIF search engines provide the GIFs basically. That's really, there is a lot of usage of those in Messenger, social media, and in many other apps, as you might already realize while using your phone. So what you can see here is that the results in WhatsApp are exactly the same as the results in Tenor if I'm looking for cake. There's a second thing related to search. I named it recommended searches, which is really popular, especially in chat apps. And in this case, it's recommending me to search for haha to send something to my mom. And it's exactly the same as looking for haha as searching for haha in this case. Many apps also provide recommendations really of GIFs, not just recommendations for searches. So you can see here TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, they have something like the top trending ones and they recommend those. And in case of Tinder, they recommend special GIFs which perfectly fit this dating chat use case in this case. Okay. I thought a little bit about the use cases searching for GIFs. I found the first one would be to search for a GIF to start or reply in a conversation. So in this case, I'm looking with that's a Google keyboard, I think. I'm looking for a GIF related to tired, and that's much cooler to use this guy laying on the ground than to write I'm tired. So this would be one use case. And the second use case is, let's imagine this apple is a car. I'm looking for a GIF to use as or extend my social content. So I have a video about a car in my TikTok or in my Instagram stories, and I want to extend it with the model number as a cool GIF. And then I'm looking for an Audi A4 GIF as an example. So this is the second use case for the thing called stickers. Let's separate these. GIFs are animated images, and you share the whole thing. If we're talking about stickers in this world on Giphy, on Tenor, then it's a transparent background image, and usually the stickers are shared on top of something, on top of an Instagram story, on top of a TikTok or so, like as described before. Okay, so let's dive a little bit into the research I've done related to this stuff. I was curious, is there a correlation between views and rankings? And I scraped about 100,000 lines of GIF ranking data, and you can see this in this Medium article. This is in more detail, but you can see here in this graph that if I'm positioned on a good position in Giphy, I usually have much more views. So that's like the latest test I did here with a lot of data. And now you may ask, before I start into showing you how to optimize and what you can find and how do you do research there, I want to quickly discuss this marketing with Gifs topic. And I thought, like, let's explain this first, because if you do marketing with Gifs, it's about brand awareness. It's not, you don't get traffic or conversions or something like this. You want to have an impression of Gifs of your brand, and maybe then be part of the private conversations of your fans, and that's it, I think. And to be successful here, I would say you have at least two preconditions. And the first one is that you as a brand want to add some value to people's private conversations or social media activities with the Gifs you create. You cannot create something which is just like celebrating your brand, but must be cool for people to share. So what you can see here with this dog and the pizza, and it's from Domino's, and yeah, maybe that's cool, maybe someone will share that, but it's not like too pushy in terms of showing my own brand. The second thing I would recommend, and I did a lot of research which brands are successful on Giphy, and I went through the list, and it's a lot of TV shows, musicians, and everything which is cool and loved. I guess food is really good. So like if you are a chocolate brand, you can do it, of course. But if you are an insurance, it's much harder, I would say, even if, of course, your insurance is super cool. But yeah, you cannot compete with chocolate in the world of gifts, I would say. Okay, so let's say you want to start and you want to do some research, and let's start here what you can do. The first thing I would recommend to check out is the trends. This gives you a lot of insights about what's currently trending, not just in terms of search terms, the keywords, but also in terms of which GIFs are trending. So there is multiple options. You can click around in Giphy and Tenor, and you will find those. They are really, that's a really good thing if you just want to go for a lot of views in this GIF world. I built a little board. This is actually just updated a few minutes ago. And this board is showing you GIF search trends in the last 12 hours, which haven't been trending 24 hours before. And you can see here, like, the bigger the square, the bigger the trend in the last 12 hours. And this gives you a little hint which keywords are currently trending and what you can do. And you see, it's a weird world in terms of what people are looking there, searching there. Then I would recommend you to check out Gif Categories. It's different than the categories in your e-commerce, or different than the categories of, I don't know, if you do traditional keyword research for SEO, because you have stuff like emotions, greetings, and memes, and all the subcategories of those. And there is other things which are important in the GIF world, and you should definitely check out those categories and how people are searching here, and what hashtags are popular there. It's different ones. Just one example here. What you can see here is the recommendations in the Google keyboard for which hashtags you might search for are mainly reactions and emotions. So it's a lot of reactions and emotions. You can see here, like, what they are looking for: oops, oh my god, and stuff like that. And you see this is a lot, and this is a pivot table, and you can see there are some leftovers which can be found in Tenor categories. It's also something you could check out, but those are like the same kind of topics here. So like lazy and clapping, there's also like this reaction emotion stuff. So be aware, if you want to be in the trending ones of a chat app, then you probably have to target reactions and emotions. So like they do it really well. So this is a love brand, I would say. That's a movie, and you can go with The Rock here and say seriously and send it to a friend. Something like this is super popular. Okay, let's speak a little bit about keyword research because I do SEO. So I was like, okay, can I do some keyword research in here? And I'm looking for low competition, high search volume, and I want to show you how this works in the GIF world, I would say. The first thing you can do to find out if something is high search volume is you can check tenor insights, and they give you not really good detailed hints, but they give you hints about, is it at the top 100 or is it the top 10,000 tenor search term? I tried a lot here, and I can tell you the top 10,000 tenor search term is not just 10,000, it's at least I found 30,000, but it's still a hint here. And yeah, so you can use that. The next thing you can use maybe to find out if there's competition, you can check on Giphy how many Gifs are there for the search term. And in this case, we have 13,000 Gifs for cooking. So I would say that's high competition. If you add another one, you have to be better than them, to be like a lot of them, to be in the top 10 or something like that. Also really helpful here is the GIFs here, the hashtags here. And these hashtags give you a hint about what hashtags you might use for your GIF. Then on GIF level, this is just one image. There you get the information about views. Views gives you also like this is like also how popular it is. And it also gives you here the hashtags which were used for the single image. You can automate that. There's APIs for tenor and there's APIs for Giphy, but they will not offer everything. So I wrote a little script in Puppeteer to get more information. And what I built is a little keyword research spreadsheet. And this spreadsheet gives me information about how many results are there for the term, how many results are there for the stickers, is it in the top bucket of on tenor, and it also gives me some hints about the views. In this case, I think it was the views, the summed up views of the top 10 GIFs for the word chocolate. So this is helpful if you have a bigger list and you want to especially scrape related ones and to get more ideas to find outliers with low competition, high volume. So something like this is maybe an option to start with something here. Okay, so now some findings, some hacks to make GIFs findable. It's really easy ones. I just chose, I think, 3 of them. The first one is, if you are on WhatsApp and you're looking for Rittersport, this is a German chocolate brand, you don't find them. If I'm looking on Giphy, I find a verified account with really nice GIFs and everything made well, like as expected, nice GIFs. And the first hack here is just upload to tenor, because many brands, they upload just to Giphy. And if you not upload to tenor in this scenario, you are not listed in WhatsApp. So it's no crazy optimization here, but just an upload. The second thing is, for many brands, the competition in the sticker world is much lower than the competition in the traditional GIF world. What you can see here, I'm looking for James Bond, and someone owns the brand James Bond, and I have to deal with these guys and the bananas, which makes no sense for me as a user because I want to share a real James Bond. So the hack here is just if you created a GIF, just create also a sticker. There's always an option to add something with a transparent background. And then people can use it on Instagram, Instagram stories, TikTok, and that's a huge audience which you can target here. Okay, also in the tool, I created something to identify hashtags, because hashtags are actually the key to rank. You have to use the right hashtags, and I will make an example here. So in this case, what I do now, and if I do a research, I want to rank for the word Danke in this case, and the top 5 GIFs use 5 times thank you, 4 times grateful, and so on. You can see that here. And so it's probably useful to use these popular hashtags because they brought other GIFs in a good position for Danke. And it's for sure like that. So the hashtag selection is super important. Example here, in this case, that's an official account, I think it's Spanish, of Nutella. And they chose love, and I can tell you love, that's too random, that no one will think about Nutella if you Google for love. Some people might, but yeah, okay. Then they chose Nutella lover, and Nutella PR. And I can tell you Nutella lover is also a hashtag which just Nutella PR is using. And Nutella PR makes also no sense. No one will look for Nutella lover or Nutella PR. And so the big failure here is that Nutella is not using chocolate. So this is an obvious one. And if you then do some additional research and you say, okay, let's check what's related to chocolate, what other hashtags I could use, then you can find something like I love chocolate with as a sticker with just 66 others as competitors, and chocolate day with just 152 others as competitors, and also with a high with a high search volume, kind of. And that's an easy thing in this case. I would add chocolate, maybe hazelnut, I love chocolate, and chocolate day to the Nutella GIF, and I guess this would rank or has the option to rank somewhere. Okay, if you're really evil, like Pizza Hut, then you go with hashtags like Papa John's and Domino's. And actually, this works. So if you're looking for Domino's in Giphy, then there are 2 Pizza Hut boxes because they chose to go with Domino's as a hashtag. So it's really that easy in some scenarios to rank here. Okay, so last few slides. Some tests and reporting. I was curious how good works this whole thing, and I went and bought an iPad and a pencil and started to draw in the train. And I was going with my list like low competition, high search volume, and draw some things, or just the things I was able to draw. And if you do that, you get and you upload it to Giphy, then you get some reportings here that you're ranking. So this you see here, like it's ranking for like helps to something like that. What's really interesting in the dashboard of Giphy is they give you these view numbers, and what you can see here is 3 big peaks, and I cannot really tell you where these peaks are coming from, but it's massive in terms of how many millions of views you make at these days. So the growth in all other scenarios is pretty stable, even if you're ranking. But in these cases, I expect that 2 things could have happened. The first one, someone really popular in social media took one of the GIFs and shared it. And the second option is the GIF was trending in some apps, in really the GIF trends. Because these numbers are too high, then they cannot be just from search. So that's really interesting. And so if someone is coming with, I do a lot of millions of views with just search, I don't think that's correct. I think you need to be in the trends to get numbers in the millions easily. Okay. Another thing you can check if you want to check out how popular your GIFs are is on Tenor. They give you information about shares, and you can see here the Saturday GIF was shared like 200 times. And yeah, so that's it. I also have some Twitter and LinkedIn. If you have questions, let me know. Thanks.
Good. So thank you very much as well, Tobias. Those really great tips I just wrote in the comments. For me, a completely new world opens up. Actually, I was maybe naively, but I never thought about how these GIFs come to the WhatsApp app. But it's cool. So maybe I wrote it. Maybe my company or other companies should more think about how uploading GIFs to these platforms like Tenor or Giphy to also be there. And
big, I would say, yeah.
Yeah. So it would be interesting how many, maybe you can ask in the chat, how many of you already uploaded GIFs themselves there. So maybe I'm the only one which never did it. So did you do it already? So
yeah, now I have the test account, multiple test accounts where I upload them, yeah.
Okay, cool. I definitely have to try this out. And it's also good to see that still in this digital and technological world that emotions are still important. So that they play a big role. Cool. Thanks a lot, Tobias, for this presentation.